Hi, and welcome back to the Heal and Strengthen Your Core Postpartum Program. We are now at week 5. So after you have done your pelvic floor exercises, you can come and lay down on your back unless you are already there. As usual, we start with this familiar movement. We're going to start with our shoulder bridges. So we did this in the last tutorial. Heels are close to your hips, sort of so close that your fingertips can graze the back of your heels. And we start with this pelvic tilt movement where the lower belly draws in and we try to touch the hip bones and the lower ribs together, pushing the lower back into the floor. And then really slowly, a little engage in the glutes here to roll one vertebra at a time off the floor until you are up in between your shoulder blades, creating that straight line at the front. Remembering we are not coming into a back bend here. We are engaging the front body. So as if you're laying down on the floor, the ribs are closing in, the belly button drawing in, and the pelvic floor lifting up. And then hold here, feel the engagement in your glutes here as well. And then we articulate the spine back down onto the floor. So keep that connection between the hip bones and the lower ribs as you put the lower back onto the floor first. And then you can release at the bottom, letting your spine come into that neutral curve. We're going to do 5 more of that. So take a deep breath in. Exhale, start tilting the pelvis, push the lower back into the floor, and then start to roll up. Really find each vertebra here. No rush. All the way to the top, find those glutes engaging, keeping the front body flat. And then we sink down, upper back, mid back, lower back, and feel that extra tension here to push the lower back into the floor just before you can release the pelvis into neutral. And we go again, tilting, pushing the lower back down, lifting up the hips, the lower back, the mid back, all the way to the upper back. Hold for a moment, and then rolling down slowly, keeping that engagement in the belly as you drop the lower back to the floor, and then let it come to a neutral position. And again, tilting, articulating all the way up. Hover at the top and softening the body back down to the floor. We have 2 more here. Tilting the pelvis, pushing into the feet to start to lift the hips. And then lowering slowly, 1 vertebra at a time. And then last one here. All the way up. Squeeze at the top. And lowering. Push the lower back into the floor. And then release the hips into neutral. Shake it off for a moment. Maybe let your knees drop side to side. Moving into a little bit of a more advanced exercise this week, we're going to move the legs into a tabletop position. If that is too strong for you, keep the knee more bent, so the angle is not the 90-degree angle, but a bit more of an acute angle here. It's going to make it easier to hold the position for you. But as I have been preaching for the last 4 or 5 weeks, whenever we move the legs, it's the core that is the dominant engager, not the hip flexors, okay? So the hip flexors will do a little bit of work here, but making sure that they are not the dominant engager in what we're about to do. And also the lower back or the spine in general and hips are completely still. So the only movement we want is in the legs. Maybe place your hands at your front body here. Check first that you have that neutral spine here. There's a little bit of a gap between your lower back and the floor, and then hug the front body in. Ribs, belly, pelvic floor. Keep that engagement. Now, the legs are going to be in a 90-degree angle if you can. If not, you bend the knee a bit more. We're going to lift one foot off the floor. Find that tabletop position. Just be aware of bringing the knee too close to your body here, because then we're not really doing any work in the core. See if you can stack the knee right over the hip. This leg stays there, and this is where the core work really comes in. We lift the other foot off the floor and let it join the first leg. And then that first leg drops down. And then the second leg drops down. Okay, now we go reverse. So now you lift the other leg first, find your tabletop. Nothing happens in your hips. We lift the second leg, tabletop, and then that first leg drops, and the second leg drops. So if you're on the same leg as me, we're going to lift the left leg now. Left leg up, right leg up, left leg down, right leg down. And other side, right leg up, left leg up, right leg down, left leg down. Have a little break here. This is really hard work for the core. If you cannot feel this in your core, that means your hip flexors have taken over. So then go back to the foot lifts that we did last week, okay? And really get in contact with the abs here, the abs and the core. We're gonna do 4 more on each side, so 8 more in total with this. If that's too much, take rests whenever you need to. But finding that engagement first, ribs, belly, pelvic floor. We lock this in. Here we go. Take a breath in. Lift the left leg. Right leg. Drop the left. Drop the right. Lift the right. Lift the left. Drop the right. Drop the left. This is the second round. Up and down and down and lift and up and down and down. 2 more times. Left and lift and down and down. Right leg and left. Right leg down. Left leg down. This is the last round. Let's go. 1 and 2. Dropping 1 and 2. If you're shaking, I'm right there with you. 1. Last time. 2 and 1 and 2. Oh, take a deep breath in. Maybe stretch yourself long. Arch your spine now. Give yourself a stretch. And then hug the knees into your chest. Coming up into your side plank. Here on your elbow. We do our modified side plank still, but we're going to do a bit of a variation here. So finding that angle with the hips here, hips coming back a little bit, hand on your hip, and then pushing into the elbow to lift the hips up. We're going to do hip dips here. So drop the hips down, push the hips up, drop it down. Go for 10. This is 2, and down, and 3, and 4, 5, 6. Really contract the side body here. How far off the floor can you get your waistline? 8, I think. And 9. We go for 10 and hold. 10, hold. For 10, maybe the arm reaches up. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Really contract more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Swing yourself over to the other side. Elbow right underneath the shoulder here, so you're not way off your center line here. Left hand to your hip, and we go up, contracting the side body, and down, and lift, and down, and lift. This was 3. We have 4, and down. Each time, lift it a little bit higher, and down. Remember not to arch your back. 7, and 8. Front body closed, and 9. Last one. 10. Hold. 10, 9, 8. Get that waistline further away from the floor. Really contract, creating that bridge shape underneath you. 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming down and making our way onto hands and knees. Starting with an exercise called knee hover. Place the hands right underneath your shoulders, knees right underneath the hips, and then tuck the toes. So similar position to what we are in when we're in a tabletop on our backs. So again here, there's a neutral spine. We are not going to curve the spine. We are not going to relax the belly either and sway our back here. So finding that balanced, straight spine position. Tuck the toes under. Give the floor a little bit of a push. So there is a dome in the upper back here. So we're not sinking in between the shoulder blades. There's an activation happening here in the chest as well as the core. And from here, you're just going to hover the knees just off the floor for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop the knees down. We're going to do that 4 more times, okay? So we are there for a while. If this hurts your wrists, you can come up onto your fists instead, so that you have that straight line of the wrists instead of the angle here. That can put quite a bit of pressure on the wrists. Okay, lower belly up and in, pelvic floor up and in, ribs are closing, and then there's a contraction in the chest here, so that we're not sinking in between the shoulder blades. Hover the knees. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop down. Take a breath in and out. Okay, we go again. Inhale. Knees off. Hover. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop them down. Take an inhale and exhale. Last 2 times. Breathe in and hover. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop the knees down. Breathe in. Exhale. Last one. Deep breath in. And hover. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop the knees. Sit back. Oh, shake out your hands. I know that's a lot for the wrists. Maybe do little circles here. We are going to come down to lay on our bellies for some cobra swims today. So we're working into the shoulders a bit here as well. Tops of the feet pushing into the floor, stretching those knees so that the knees are coming off the floor engaging the glutes. Okay, so we don't want the lower back to do all of the work. They need a little bit of help from the glutes here. And as I've talked about before, we want to push the hips into the floor, heavy, heavy hips, so that once we're in our cobra position, we don't feel so heavy coming forwards. So when you're ready, come into your cobra. Remember, shoulders back and down, elbows in, long neck. Feel the shoulder blades hugging together and feel your back working. Now hover the hands off the floor. We're going to reach the hands forward by our ears, swim back, straight arms. If you can, clasp your hands behind your back. Take an inhale, lift a little bit higher, and then drop the head and the hands to the floor. Take a little break. We do that 4 more times. Cobra coming up. Hover the hands. Inhale to stretch the arms forward. Exhale to swim back. If you can't clasp, then just keep reaching the arms behind you, and then a little extra lift, and then melt back down. And coming up. Push the hips into the floor, hover the hands. Reach forward. Swim back. Clasp if you can. Lift a little bit higher, and then coming down again. And coming up. Push the hips into the floor, hover the hands. Reach forward. Swim back. Clasp if you can. Lift a little bit higher, and then coming down again. Last time. Coming up. Hover. Reach. Swim to clasp, lift, and lower. From here, push yourself into our closed knee child's pose just to release the back, drop the head down. Breathe here for a moment. And whenever you're ready, rolling up to a seated position. Once again, thank you for practicing with me. Well done on completing or getting into working with week 5. You're doing really well. And as always, let me know if there's anything, questions or suggestions you have for me. You can find my details here. Would love to hear from you. Thank you so much.